Hello, welcome to Topper Machine. I'm Josh Topper. So today's job was going to be cutting a 1-inch internal keyway, except we had a problem. I had just changed oil in the feed box on the Morey Vertical Shaper here, and the oil pump was working fine yesterday. When I started it up today, it didn't sound right. So I opened the feedback box back up, checked the oil pump flow, nothing. So I went ahead and pulled the oil pump, thinking, we'll just see what's going on there, and let me show you what I found. All right, so here's the oil pump, the pump body. This bolts up into the bottom of the feed box. The oil line connects here. There's the piston, which is right here, goes in here on a spring, and it plunges, and that's the oil pickup right there. Now, the problem came in when I pulled the piston out. There's part of the spring, there's another part, there's another part, there's another part, there's another part, and there's another one. So all of these are supposed to be one spring. And so this thing, obviously, I'm guessing it's been broken for a while and working at diminished capacity, but so it's not good at all. Well, since I live so far out in the boonies, I drove to town, which is 10 miles away, and an hour later, I'm back at the shop with a spring that will work. So just put that spring in the pump there. And it's a little bit longer, but it's a little softer, which will be okay. But it definitely will work. So we'll go ahead and I'm going to take the camera over. We'll show you inside the feed box and all that, and then we'll hook the pump back up and try to get this thing up and running. So over here is the feed box, and I got the top cover lifted up, and this is the whole mechanism right here. This shaft here rotates an eccentric, which actuates, there's a gear down there that drives this gear, which ratchets and causes this shaft to rotate, which gives us our feeds. Feed and rapid traverse that way. Well, here's the oil distribution manifold, and as you can see, it's supposed to shoot out oil right here and down here onto the mechanism, the cam mechanism, over here onto the arm, and actually that drips the oil down into the sump too and gets the spring lubricated, all that, and into this assembly here along with up into the ratchet. The bearings up in there. So that's all of that. Now, the reason I started this is this glass was broke, and I ordered a new glass, and then I actually ordered a straight piece of glass and this is plastic, a little bubble, really a nice unit, and I put that in instead because I liked it. And then down here, I don't know what you guys can see. I haven't seen up in there yet, but that's where the oil pump runs. I don't know, I really can't see the camera to see what it looks like, and there's my oil line. Now the worst part about this is I just changed the oil yesterday, and I put the sight glass on there and made the modifications to the drain plug. Here's the drain plug. It's just a 3/8 NPT plug. But I took an end mill and I drilled in a little bit with an end mill and stuck a rare earth magnet in there. So now I have a magnetic drain plug, which is a great feature. And I think I'll be doing some more of those on other machines, and I'll do video on that eventually when I do those. So what we'll go ahead and do is I'll get the oil pump back in this thing, and then we'll put oil in it, fire it up, and see if it's pumping. And I'm hoping it does. I'm going to start by putting my drain plug in. Go ahead and wipe that out. And you're going to see just how difficult this is to put back in with this little rare earth magnet, because this thing is incredible. These things just pull. And I just got to get it as lined up as I can. There, that actually worked good. Get that tightened up. good. Now, I'll wipe off the mating surface here. And I've got a little bit of silicone. Jeez, I'm gonna wipe out the cavity there too a little bit. Just get any excess out of there. Oh, yuck. You know, I dumped a bunch of naphtha in here and ran it thinking that would flush it out, but apparently not. And the problem is that I went and changed the oil yesterday. So when I dumped it out, it looked pretty nasty, and that was $60 worth of oil down the toilet. So, all right, so I'm gonna just take my pump and put a little bit of the silicone on there. Don't need a lot. The gasket's still up there. I saw it. I just want enough to give it a nice thin film just to help extra seal it. And I don't want to put enough that it makes it difficult to get it back off if this ever happens again, or the next time I change oil, which I'm hoping it'll be the next time I change oil. And hopefully I don't get my hands in the way so you guys can see what's going on here, but I'm trying to get the oil line screwed into the fitting here to get it started. Of course, nothing is easy about this. I'll get this line hooked up. There it is. It's hard to get in there. So now I'll pour the oil in, and instead of going through the filler hole, I'm going to just dump it in here because it'll be a lot easier than trying to get through that little, it's a 3/8 inch filler plug. And there it comes up. Needs a little bit more. So this machine, this feed box, is run off of a belt. The oil pump, it's constantly running. So let me go ahead and start the machine and we'll see make sure the clutch is not engaged and make sure she pumps. It might take a minute to get the oil up there, but I hear it. So I'm having issues getting oil up there. And so what I'm doing is taking the line off again. And I got this piece of tubing here. And I'm just going to suck on it and try to prime that pump. I think that might be the problem because I put it in dry and I should have probably put a little oil in it first. Oh yeah, there it comes. I don't want to drink that. Now I'll hook the line back up and we'll just leave that hose there so it can drain out and finish tightening up my oil line here, and then I'll hit start button again. Come on, almost there. Very tight quarters to work in, and that's something I've learned over the years. All of these old machines is the guys that did the oil lines on these things were very good and very flexible fingers. All right, here goes. Much better. That's coming out real nice on there. Let me pull the camera off and let's take a look at the other ones. Yeah, shooting out good oil. And This one, I should be seeing oil coming out of there somewhere. Where's my flashlight? Not sure if that one's getting oil or not. I'm going to try to put my finger over a few of these spitters and see if I can't force it through that one so I can tell. Well, that thing's kicking out some serious pressure, but I can't tell if there's oil coming out of that one or not. So I think I'm going to go ahead and pull that oil line off because that's got me concerned. So what I got to do here is I disengage the clutch and I spin her over, and this will get the ratchet out of my way so that I can get at that oil line. And all that's doing is bringing the ram of the machine down. Now I can get at that line to get it off, because that's really kind of concerning. And you want oil coming through everything. Boy, that looks blocked off. That doesn't look good at all. Okay, so the problem was a little bit more severe than I had initially thought. The entire end of the tube was pinched off, and I tried drilling it out. I tried a bunch of different things. I could not get it to open up, so I just cut the last little bit off. And what we'll do is we'll position this as best we can to get the oil in there. Boy, it almost might work like that without trying to do any bending or creative angles. Although little downward might not be bad. I just gotta do it carefully as to not do what was happening before. All right, that looks better. Let's go ahead and start it up and see what it does now. I don't know if, let me move the camera in so you guys can see what's going on. Oh, it looks like everything's pumping good. I had to adjust my lines a little bit. I think somebody was in here at some point and did a terrible job of setting it all up. And so what we'll do here is I'll go ahead and engage the spindle, or the ram. And you can see how the ratchet mechanism works. My flashlight here and get a little more light down in there. But now I've got the oil hitting that cup. I've got the oil hitting the plunger back here good. Lubing that all up. We got good oil coming out up here at the ratchet. I just wonder how long this has been a problem. But looks like we're getting good lubrication now. So let's go ahead and button this thing up. Well, that took care of most of the problem in there. I did find another problem, and it's something I can't address right now without tearing further into the machine, but the cam follower is actually wore. So I'm guessing this problem goes back a long ways, but I can get consistent feed now. The lowest feed rate I can actually get though is only 0.003 per stroke. And sometimes that's just a little too much for, you know, some of these keyways. So I tend to hand feed it, but at least now it's working a little better, and it's getting oil supply. That's the big thing. So make a note of that. You guys check your oil pumps, even if you think they're working. If they don't have sight glasses, just double check them. I was actually shocked to find that spring broken in that many pieces. So with that, I'm gonna get going on the next video of setting this up and cutting this 1-inch keyway. And until next time, get out in your shops and get it done right the first time.